gang, today I'm doing all the plant things today actually, and in this video I'm going to be doing some propagating. So there are so many plants in my collection that just look a bit crap and it's annoying me, and I want to start propagating them, and I keep not doing it because I want to do it with you, and therefore the plants just keep growing and looking crap. So we're going to start doing those things. Today we are propagating some plants. The plants that I've got are this one, which is quite a new one to my collection. It's the monstera radicans, or monstera species radicans, I don't know. I recently got it from Grow Tropicals. I don't hate the way it's growing, but these two bottom leaves, the biggest ones, are yellowing, so I'm thinking they're going to die off at some point. And then these three look quite a similar size, so what I'm thinking is chopping maybe the top three or maybe the top two and starting like a whole new plant, and then propagating these ones into like individual nodes and eventually having a really bushy one. I think that's what I'm thinking. So there's that one. I really want to propagate my philodendron Schuberichii, which I'm annoyed at myself because I gave it a moss pole and I didn't keep on top of, like, one, keeping the moss moist, two, filling the moss pole up. So we have the moss down here, the moss pole finishes here, and it's grown right to the top, and all of these nodes, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes that could have been touching moss and roots growing into moss, so they would have been much more like better set up for being propagated, but that didn't happen, so we're just gonna wing it. I have two of the same plant here. This is looking rubbish. This is actually so it's a variegated homolomina, which we had back when we had the shop, like the online plant shop, and nobody bought it, which, you know, fair enough. It looks a bit like crap, but I can see the potential in how beautiful this plant can be in this pup. Like, look at that leaf. It could be really, really beautiful, but I mean, this stem is thick and it is just crawling along. I want to like chop and restart, and obviously this stem is so long I can start several new plants with that. So I'm going to do that with both of them. They've both got pups on them, which could be separated. They all have new leaves growing. Like, they sit in the grow tent near the bottom and I don't like them, but I can see the potential, so I'm gonna give them a bit of love and see if I can make them look pretty. It's gonna feel really good to get those done. I have been meaning to look after these better for a couple of years now. And then the final one that I'm wanting to do is looking ridiculous. This is my Dichorisandra discolor, and I think, to be honest, it's probably gone into like a bit of a dormancy, which is probably not the best time to chop it. What is it? Maybe not. This sounds new. Where does it? I love the way it like wraps itself around like the trellis. I am still going to chop it though. Like, this leaf is new. This whole stem that's going up is new. I'm still going to chop it. Like, this leaf is crispy as, and I'm just not enjoying the way it's looking, so I'm going to chop it up and start again. And I know some people will say that you can't grow this from a leaf, or like, well, a stem cutting, but I got it as a rooted stem cutting, so I believe that you can grow it from a rooted stem cutting. So those are the ones that I'm going to start with. There are so many more that need to be cut, but we'll just start with these. Before I get into the chopping, I wanted to show you these. I often get questions about where I get my glass vessels, and I got a whole bunch of these ones for £2 from B&M. They come with like wooden lids that have like writing on them. They're for food, but obviously just take the wooden lid off and you have a pot, a clear vessel. So I will be using these to water propagate. I think I'm going to water propagate all of these, I think. I hate peeling off labels. That's why things end up with just having their labels kept on. Oh. Like, there are easy peel stickers. Why are all companies not using easy peel stickers? They do my time. Okay, I think you can see a little bit better. I'm just using scissors to chop. I don't really know how much I'll talk in this video, to be honest, because I'm literally just chopping plants. But we'll see. I'm gonna start with a monstera. So this guy is really light. I'm sure I watered it recently, but this guy must have been grown in quite like a humid condition because it's got some really great aerial roots, which I'm hoping will turn into water roots. Or should I just pop this into soil? Oh. This root going into the soil here is actually from this node up here, which was one of the ones that I was going to chop. So maybe I should chop that and pot it into its own pot. Ooh, okay. I was not expecting to be potting into soil today. I can't be, I'm feeling so lazy. I've got a bag of the Anthurium and Orchid mix from Soil Ninja right there. I know they have a philodendron and a monstera mix, but I might just pot it into that. They look quite similar. I'm gonna do it. I have my little stall that I can open up and tip substrate into. The substrate that it's in doesn't actually look that bad. I am mindful of pests on this one. When I unboxed it, it did have like what looked like, well, I didn't say what looked like it, there was evidence of mealybugs. I didn't find any active mealybugs on it, but it had like the white fluffy, like, I don't know if it's like the egg sac or what, and I'm mindful that there might be some active ones in the substrate. Obviously I don't know, but we'll unpack it and find out. I don't want to completely lose all of this soil, I don't think. Unless it is mealy buggy. Let's find out. Hang on, what's this? No, I think we're okay. There are some roots coming out of the bottom which always make it like a little bit harder to pull out. I don't think, no, oh, is there? Yeah, there's one that's come out of one hole and then it's gone back into the other, so that one's going to have to be snapped. Otherwise I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to be able to pull it out. We can. Ooh! Oh my lord. Holy crap, look. I'm going to need a bigger pot. Holy crap. That is so rooty. Wow. Okay. That's completely scuppered my plan. Like, I don't know what to do now. Like, do I just let it keep these leaves? Maybe I do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do so much. I'm gonna put it back in this pot and come back to it. Oh my god, how ridiculous. I'm so decision fatigued. I don't know what to do with that. Let's get on with the actual chopping. I'm gonna go to this guy. So this is the one that I gave the moss pole to. It has rooted into the moss pole, but I'd be surprised if those roots were salvageable. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop it underneath this node here so it doesn't have any roots, and then chop again and again and again. Ooh. Oh, that smells nice. Oh, that smells really nice. Right, this is the bottom section. Looking cute. Hopefully that'll start to grow some really nice new growth points. Can they like make a candle out of this? Oh, that is phenomenal. Wow. I'm gonna pull off all of the like dead, crispy, there's like old caterpillars and also some old dry aerial roots. So I'm gonna pull those off where I can. You can see that is a new growth point. Now I know this is one of the old sheaths, and inside of it, sorry about the motorbike, inside of it is a root, and I think it's a root that could create some water roots, so I'm not gonna pull it off. Wow. Oh, I don't often see that. That's pretty impressive. So this aerial root here has produced a secondary root. Wow. That's really cool. I don't know if they will be able to turn into water roots or like produce water roots. There's lots of little secondary root like nubbly bits along that root, so we'll see. And the same's happening again on this one. Like this here is the sheath, and then inside of it, ooh, there's the root. This one's not crunchy yet, but I'm going to put it off anyway. Oh, sticky, sticky, sticky. I'm going to have to wash my hands. Ugh. Good grief, that was juicy. Ugh. I'm going to go and wash my hands because that was really, really sticky. So I have heard along the planty grapevine that these can be really tricky to root. I'm really hoping it won't be, but it might be. There's actually, this is an empty node, so should I do a wet stick? Or should I just leave it as part of this one? I might just leave it. Yeah, I'll leave it. I'm gonna make a cut there, and then a cut here. And while I was washing my hands, I was thinking maybe I should try and just put them into like an actual medium as opposed to water. But I don't know, like apparently they're tricky to root. This one I feel like I want to put in water just because it's the oldest and the stem's kind of a bit like calloused, and the aerial roots haven't really developed, whereas these guys, or well, this top one, the aerial roots are developing, and I feel like if I put them into a nice substrate they could just root. And then obviously it's got that long aerial root, which I don't know if I'll be able to actually bend down into a substrate, but I could try. So that's the top one, and then this one, which is the empty one, is also a bit kind of calloused and old, And then there's this top bit that has the long one. What do I do? What would you do? Would you put them into water or would you put them into a substrate? I don't know. I really thought when I turned the camera on that this was going to be like me chopping and sticking plants into water, and it's just not turning into that, is it? Right, what I'm going to do, these two, the older ones, are going to go in water. So they're in my glass jar. This one that has the slightly like newer active roots, I'm going to put into the philodendron and monstera mix. Do I give it a poll? This year I really want to be better at polls, but I wasn't planning on doing polls today. Cute though. I'm going to put it in with the water ones for now. Okay. I'm going to chop up the Dichorisandra next. I really need to repot this thing because it just looks horrific. And I actually picked up, so when I got it, it was in one of these little cups and I just like domed it and it carried on rooting and growing really, really well. So that's what I was just thinking about doing, like a tiny little bit of water at the bottom, tape it, and it should root quite well. So that's what I'm gonna do with this one. I feel like the light's behind it though, so I can't see. Oh, decision fatigue. I'm gonna chop you. It's so tricky to untangle these things. What have you got caught on? Okay. I have literally just been watching, oh no, I'm sure you've all heard of him, the Sydney plant guy, his YouTube video on this plant and how quickly it grew. So he lives in Australia, so it's like summer there, isn't it? But within like 50 days, his Dichorisandra went from literally nothing in the pot to like this phenomenal, oh I didn't put my mic back on, oh sorry, to this phenomenal huge trellis plant, and it's just given me the oomph I needed to like chop this guy up. Obviously we're in the winter period here in the UK and it's still growing, so it's not gone into a dormancy period, which he did speak about. So I might try and force a dormancy period next year after seeing his and how amazing it looked. But it's too late this year, like we've gone past that. But I want to propagate it to fill it out, make it just look a little bit better than it does right now, because it's not looking its best. There's this whole section without leaves on it. Is that? Oh, okay, that's all of you. There's this, oh, the new section that's growing is like wrapped around this one. I don't want to, like I would quite like that one to carry on growing. I don't want to disturb it too much. Oh, look at those curly bits. Right. This thing just like sprouts and roots from anywhere. It's so curly. I don't know if that section, like this long dangly bit, I don't know if I chopped that, if it would do anything. I imagine it wouldn't. But I guess there's no harm in like chopping it and putting it in water and seeing. Okay, how ridiculous do you look? I need to get this thing an actual proper trellis, because this is just like two little shelf things put together. I might leave it like that. How was it wrapped round? Oh, well, that looks ridiculous. It doesn't really look any better, but this, as I said, this was a new, like a whole new strand, and I just figured may as well carry on letting that grow. So yeah, there's that. Let me put all of these into some, well, into a pot so they can grow. And I can have a bushy one, and I might save some of these to like do trades with. Because I feel like even though these are like, they're fairly easy to come by now, I feel like people do always want them whenever I see them available. Not that I'm not really on Facebook these days, so I'm not in any groups. They're in there for now. Obviously there's no water in there, but that's what that little bundle's looking like. Now for the Homo Lomina. Come on, Amy, you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, should I? Like, this one doesn't look, I mean, obviously it's got dying leaves and crispy bits, but it doesn't look too horrific compared to the other one, and it's got a new leaf. I kind of want to just leave it for that to come out a bit more, because I'll be chopping the stem and I don't want to shock it loads, whereas like this one looks ridiculous, and there is a new leaf out and it's not fully unfurled yet, but I feel like this is a better position to do some chopping than coming out. Oh, the cat's Phil. I might just be making that up. It's just a gut feeling that I have. So I'm going to cut this one. I don't know if my scissors will actually cut it, but I'm going to give it a go. How far? Oh my god. I mean, this pup's basically got its own like root system going on. Hey! That wasn't too horrific. So I've got a little pup and the stump. I should probably do some root pruning on that, because there's going to be a huge root system in there for the tiny pup and stump. So this is the stem that we're working with. I basically just want to strip it completely back. I'm going to chop it again. So I'm going to chop it like here, and then I'm hoping it will straighten up. Oh dear. There we go. There's growth points all over this thing. Ooh! Oh my god. Right. Honestly, these plants will like root and shoot so well. So you can see like the roots, but that there is a growth point, and there's just growth points all over the place on these. Let me show you the stump. I'll just pick off all the dry dead bits so that you can really see. Okay. Look, growth point, all the roots, growth point there, growth point there, growth point there, here, down here. There's growth points and like roots everywhere. I can't chop all of these up into individual nodes, but maybe I could chop it into like a 3 and then just see like how it pups. So there's a really good growth point there and there, so I'd like to try and keep those going. I'm going to have to cut through some, I think. If I chop like diagonally here, I think that should be okay. Oh. So, growth point, just 2 on this bit. 1, 2. Yeah, so what I'll do is, so there's a growth point there and there. So what I'm going to do is just put that root section, I'm going to put it on top of some soil, and those two should both pup quite nicely. I might even just pop it on top of there. From my experience of them growing so far, they do just tend to grow pretty well. So where do I want to chop here? I think I might actually have to chop for a growth point on this one. Or can I prevent it? Oh, maybe, no, maybe I can. Ooh, oh my god. So on this one there's 1, 2, 3 growth points. So there's growth point here, growth point here, and then a growth point here. So there's literally one on every side. So there isn't a good kind of position to put this in really, but there's pointier roots kind of here and here. So I'm going to sit it that way round, and the pups will, you know, the growth points, if they activate, they'll figure it out. They'll find their way. And then this one, there's 1, 2, 3 growth points again. So one here that's kind of activated, and one there. Wow. So what was that, like 3 on 2 of them, 2 on that one. So 3, 6, 8. There's 2 growth points on the stump. So that's 10. So you could have 10 plants in that pot. But like, you see what I mean? The variegation is beautiful. It could have a lot of potential. And then there's this thing, which I'm going to remove some leaves from, to be completely honest, and just try and encourage it to grow straight. So yeah, I'm going to pot it, whereas it was kind of, I'm going to kind of pot it like that and encourage it to grow up straight. This has the potential to pup 2 times on this stem bit, and there'll be potential inside these caterpillars too. Oh, my foot's losing its feeling. I'm going to put a small bit of the Anthurium orchid soil into here, about halfway, and then just stick it in like that. And in the grow tent that lights above, I'm hoping that it will like move. Fingers crossed. There we go. I have absolutely soil just went in my mouth. I have absolutely no doubt that that will root, and it will root well in there like that. I'll obviously update you. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. I feel like I've probably got dirt all over my face. Right, after that, yeah, I'm definitely not going to do this one, more because I'm running out of oomph. Right. Oh, should I put this guy in with that? Or is that a bit weird? Probably a bit weird, isn't it? Let's push it into here. might actually try and do that. This is like, obviously this is not a how-to, this is just me trying to do plant chores with you guys. What I'm going to do is make like a bit of a hole and put the top cutting that has the like the juicier aerial roots in the hole and see what happens. I don't recommend this. As I said, I've not propagated this plant. It's still quite a new one in my collection, and I've heard that they don't propagate very well. So like, if you're gonna copy, do so at your own risk. I don't know what I'm doing. Get out of the way, you big bit of wood. I actually don't know if I can make a hole big enough to get it in. No, it's not. Oh, I really thought that was going to be a good plan. It's not going to go in there, is it? Can I smush it down the side? That would be good. I could then keep an eye on the roots too. Oh, this might work. Ooh. Oh, cute. Okay. Okay. So I've just cleared like a bit of this section here and I've shoved the pot in. This is where the node is. I've shoved the pot in, I've shoved the stick in. The roots are covered. I'm going to try and bring this one down that was like quite large. Maybe I can try and shove it in. I'll try and shove it into here, into the very dry moss pole. There we go. Okay. I just need all the old leaves to, like, you know, face downwards. I mean, it's because the light's above them. This is a grow tent one. Yeah. Okay. I'll keep you updated as to how well that propagates in soil. Oh my god. It's all about experimenting, isn't it? That's what this hobby's about. I will do these ones in water. So I'll put water in this vessel and try and encourage these aerial roots to just hang out down here a little bit. So that's that one. Done the Dichorisandra, done the variegated Homolomina. Not doing that one, not Homolomina. Dichorisandra. Oh, now it's the monstera that's left. I started this video really wanting to cut this one, and now I don't know if I do want to cut it, or whether I should just upsize it. It's only because those bottom leaves, I don't think they even look that bad on camera, but they're yellowing. Oh, it's got so much potential, hasn't it? Right, let me get it a bigger pot. Right, okay, I've got it a bigger pot. It's one that's from when I had the shop. I'm just going to use the Anthurian orchid. I think it's just a bit airier than monstera and philodendron like, but I'm sure it'll much appreciate it compared to just being this root bound in that pot. So I'm just going to shove it in here and deal with it at a later date, because I don't know what to do. Like, should I leave those big leaves on? Should I chop them off and start again? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. What should I do? I know I should give it a poll, whatever I decide to do, but I'm not in the mood today to be doing polls, so it's not going to get one today. So I definitely need to do, like, this is a temporary setup. Temporary, okay? I need your advice. I need your opinions. I will listen to you if you have any thoughts. Do I propagate it? Do I just whack a pole in here? What do I do? There we go, much better. Okay, that wasn't quite what I was expecting when I started filming this video. But I'm glad to get some of those things done. They've been playing on my mind for such a long time, so thank you for being here with me for it. What I'm going to do now is tidy up. I'm going to vacuum again, even though I did that this morning. I'm going to put this one into the shower and rinse it down and really saturate the substrate. I'm going to leave the Dioscorea and the Homolomina plants as they are because they've both been watered recently. And the Schuberichii, I do want to give it some water, but I'm not going to give it some water right away because I know I didn't let that callus over when I put it in there. And I'm also going to give the ones that are going to be water propped, I'm going to give them some water. So that's that. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. If you enjoyed it, do give it that thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.